What if I told you that the world's most perfect economy just found a way to get even better, and almost nobody noticed it happening? For decades, economists have searched for the perfect economy. A system that grows steadily, keeps inflation low, protects workers, avoids debt crises, and still makes people rich. Most countries fail at this, but one economy has been quietly breaking the rules, doing almost everything right. And recently, something changed. Today, we're answering one dangerous question. Did the perfect economy just get better? Or are we missing the cracks beneath the surface? Stay until the end, because the truth is far more complicated than the headlines suggest. The idea of a perfect economy has haunted economists for over a century. In theory, it looks simple: stable growth, low unemployment, controlled inflation, high productivity, strong social safety nets, and minimal inequality. In textbooks, this exists as perfect competition, where markets are efficient, prices are fair, and resources are optimally allocated. But in the real world, every economy has trade-offs. Fast growth usually brings inflation. Strong welfare systems often mean higher taxes. Low unemployment can weaken productivity. So the perfect economy isn't about perfection, it's about balance. And one country has come closer than almost any other. When economists talk about near-perfect systems, one country appears again and again. Not the United States, not China, not Germany. It's Norway. Norway checks almost every box. One of the highest GDPs per capita on Earth. Extremely low poverty. Strong worker protections. Universal health care and education. Low inequality. Massive government savings. But this wasn't luck. Norway made one decision decades ago that changed everything. Most countries that discover massive oil reserves fall into the same trap. Easy money, overspending, corruption, currency collapse, economic stagnation. It's called the resource curse, and it's destroyed entire nations. But Norway did the opposite. Instead of spending oil money immediately, Norway created one of the most disciplined financial tools in history: the Government Pension Fund Global. Often called simply the Oil Fund. Here's the genius part. Norway doesn't spend most of its oil revenue. Instead, the money is invested globally, across stocks, bonds, and real estate, in over 9,000 companies worldwide. Today, that fund is worth over $1.4 trillion. Per person, that's more wealth than any country on Earth. This alone already made Norway look like the perfect economy. But something new happened. For years, critics said Norway's model wouldn't survive real stress. Then came global inflation, energy shocks, rising interest rates, supply chain collapses, geopolitical instability. Economies everywhere struggled. Inflation exploded. Budgets collapsed. Debt piled up. And this is where the story gets interesting. Because instead of collapsing, Norway adapted. When energy prices surged, many countries panicked. Norway didn't. As a major energy exporter, higher prices meant increased national income, stronger fiscal buffers, more contributions to the oil fund. While other governments borrowed more, Norway saved more. Instead of fueling inflation domestically, profits were parked abroad. This prevented overheating, a mistake many resource economies make. Most central banks had to choose: kill inflation or protect jobs. Norway managed both. Why? Because government spending was already disciplined, household debt was monitored, wage growth stayed aligned with productivity, inflation rose, but not out of control, and unemployment stayed low. That combination is extremely rare. Here's what most people missed. Norway didn't just grow richer, it changed how it invests. The oil fund shifted more into renewable energy, more into global infrastructure, more into sustainable long-term assets. This reduced future risk. In other words, Norway didn't just ride the crisis, it repositioned itself for the next 50 years. That's not normal government behavior. Here's where theory meets reality. While people in many countries felt poorer, Norwegian purchasing power held up. Social services remained fully funded. Public trust stayed high. That trust matters. High-trust societies spend less on enforcement, litigation, and bureaucracy, making the economy more efficient. This is something GDP numbers don't show. So, did the perfect economy actually get better? On paper? Yes. Norway strengthened its fiscal position, increased long-term wealth, reduced future risk, maintained social stability. But here's the twist. This model is almost impossible to copy. Why? Because it requires political discipline across generations, high institutional trust, long-term thinking, willingness to delay gratification. Most governments fail at just one of these. Norway succeeded at all of them. And that's the real secret. Even Norway isn't invincible. There are cracks forming, an aging population, dependence on global markets, pressure to spend more domestically, climate transition risks. If oil demand collapses faster than expected, future revenues shrink, and public expectations are rising. The perfect economy stays perfect only as long as discipline survives politics. History shows that's never guaranteed. So let's answer the question honestly. Did the perfect economy just get better? Yes, in resilience, strategy, and long-term positioning. But perfection isn't static. It's a constant balancing act between growth and restraint, wealth and responsibility, today's comfort and tomorrow's security. Norway didn't become perfect by accident. It became strong by saying no when everyone else said yes. And that may be the most valuable economic lesson of all. And if you enjoyed the video, make sure to like and subscribe and check out the channel to find more amazing and new videos.